I always ask the question, is it okay to be selfish? Sometimes you have to be.
Yeah.
And that's called self-preservation. Because if you're not, others can take you down.
Our mission is to encourage, inspire, and empower artists by sharing real stories and real experiences, so no artist gives up before discovering what's possible. Today on Artistry Unplugged, we're talking about healing, boundaries, and rediscovering yourself through creativity. So let's unplug and get into it with designer Jackie Lofton, founder of Unbound by Nubian Knots Crochet. Please give it up for Miss Lofton. What's up? How's it going?
Everything is good. Like I would never imagine things would be this good.
Well, I tell you, looking on the outside, looking in, you're doing great to me. I'm serious. Like I'm really at awe. And it's just a privilege to have you here on the Artistry Unplugged podcast. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Oh, yes. No problem. I seen your work and I'm like, oh my goodness, I got to have her on the podcast. So let's go ahead and unplug and get with it, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
You said your crochet saved your life. From what exactly?
Well, I was a workaholic and very passionate about everything. And I poured myself into so many different facets of life, but never had like a work life and life balance. And so in 2017, I had like a little mental health breakdown. And I kind of like went through it by myself, but I come from a tribe or a village of people that really care for me. And so at that time I had kind of self-isolated, but I was just going through it and I was just so unhappy. And one of my girlfriends is a therapist and she owns her own, business, and she had clients around where I lived. So my house was the pit stop. And I meant by like, she would come over to get something out the refrigerator, grab a bottle of water, use the, facilities, whatever she needed to do. And the one particular day she stopped and she just looked at me and she was like, "You're not yourself." And I'm like, "No, I'm not." And she actually took the time out, sit down and to talk to me. And she said to me, after like 3 days, because like she would come around like every day. And that third day, she said, "I need you to find something to do other than work." And at that time, I had left my job. And she said, "And I don't want you to work." So I'm like, bills need to be paid. She said, "Those bills will be paid when you get back." So she said, "I want you to use the other side of your brain." She said, "Because all you know is work, work, work." And where I worked, they're no longer in existence now. So I can kind of like talk about it. Is I worked for a college, a for-profit college, and I was one of the administrators for the medical department. And I did not agree with what was happening with the students there. So I'm a fighter. And I'm not talking about fighter this way, but I'm talking about I stand up for what's right. I will talk about it and I stand firm in my conviction and what I believe. And so that caused me a lot of issues because I was telling students that I knew that wasn't going to make it not to come. So that caused me a lot of issues with administration, but I stood firm in what I believed in and I left. And so when my friend came to me and she said, "I want you to do something other than work, other than taking care of people, I need you to learn something." So I was like, "Well, what is that? When am I supposed to learn?" She said, "That's up to you to figure out." And she left. So she came back the next day, same pit stop, get something to eat, come and check on Jackie. And she said, "Well, what did we figure out?" And I was like, "I didn't." She said, "Well, I gave you a homework assignment." And she meant all of it. And so I was like, okay. So I said, "I promise I'll have it. I'll have something for you tomorrow when you come through." So when she came back the next day, I said, I always wanted to crochet. I'm fascinated with fashion, but I really love crochet, but I don't know how to do it. She said, okay, another homework assignment. Go to the store and get what you need to crochet. And she said, and find somebody to teach you. So I'm like, what? So I go to the store. I don't know what I'm buying. I just found some fiber that I liked, a hook that I was supposed to have, never looked to see if it all went together. And I came home and I'm like, now what? And all of that took, it made me think about something else. It made me use the other side of my brain. And that was in 2017, and now we're in 2026. And it's like once a person learns how to crochet just a chain, it becomes obsessive almost. And so I have studied, I asked people to teach me, and nobody would teach me. So I'm a self-taught person. So I taught myself to do this. And what I did is I would just make stuff and give it away. Or I'm a YouTube University graduate.
Yes. I've run quite a few of those.
But, so a lot of people stick to like trends. I don't. So that opened the door even more. So after a while, I learned how to live outside of the lines, if that makes any sense. And so I learned how to crochet from different ethnic groups because it's different. What they produce is so different. And so like you have like the Irish lace crochet, you have like Africans that do crochet and the materials that they use and different techniques. What I do, this right here is called freeform.
Yes.
I love freeform because you can do whatever you want, use whatever fiber you want, and make anything that you want. And it's like that's where Unbound came from. And so ever since then, and along with some other things, like I went to theater classes and I do comedy, impromptu stuff. But it all taught me to get out of that box that I had put myself into that was causing me to basically lose my mind, basically.
Wow. And that can happen, especially just everyday hustle and bustle.
Yeah.
You have to take time for self, But in a way, in a weird way, it was kind of good that happened, I guess, because
I wouldn't have never done this. Like I would have never done this. I would have just been focused. And I come from a family of professionals that's what we do. We focus on work. We focus on being the best. We focus on, and it was like, something's got to give because this is not where I want to be.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's great. That's a good story. I love it. Why crochet? What made you venture into that? I know you said you told your friend, but what led you to crocheting? You said it was something you always wanted to do.
I've always been heavily into fashion, and that's another thing. Like I come from a family of aunts that, they weren't able to go and buy their clothing places where they wanted to, in that era. So they made everything. And then they taught us how to make everything, me and my cousins, right? And when I started looking at fashion, like I love Vogue and Bazaar and all of those magazines, I would be in a jet.
Yeah.
And when I would see the beauties of the week back when I was growing up, they were like wearing crochet, bathing suits and all of the things. And I thought it was just so amazing and so original. And I wanted to know how to make it. And so even when I do crochet like regular things and not my artwork, I go back to the archives. I don't do those ruffle hats everybody's making now.
Right.
What's on trend. I go back to the patterns that was in the 60s and 50s and 60s and I pull those. I have to read them because the language is a little bit different and interpret those patterns. And then I make them, how I want to make them. I love
That is so
and I
cool.
love the color. And if you see behind me, you see what I got?
Yes, that is beautiful. Woo!
So I could come in here and grab anything I want. And this is nothing. I'll show you the rest of it.
Yes, we're going to do that before you leave. We got to see some of that stuff. Because I think of your line, your designs as it's considered art. It really is. Would you say it's designer art or how would you define it?
So I would call it, I don't know. Like
I know.
I would never really put a name to it. So when I was let me tell you what I do for a living so you can understand. So and I don't teach anymore. So right now I'm a senior center director. And I am the senior center director of the second largest senior center in Baltimore County. We are rocking. And I used to work for Baltimore City, Rex and Park Division, and we were always entertained. Like we had this big thing called it was a crab feast on Kurt's Beach. So I'm riding on the bus, and this is the time when I had really first got into it. And one of my coworkers, and rest in peace, Gloria, she was an artist. She used to make dolls with paper and fabric, right? She was amazing. So I'm sitting there and I'm working on something, and she said, "Jackie, you're an artist." And I'm like, "No, I'm not. This is just a hobby." She said, "No hobby looks like that I know of." She said, "You are an artist." So, and she would not let that go. And so after a while, and I start producing things, and people are like, I've sold pieces to people in New Zealand, and they're like, "I've never seen this before. And I'm like, "Jackie, you are an artist." Because
yes, you are.
you get duplicated by anybody.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
And I like the urban feel of it too. So
yes,
when you saw my fashion show, people, I haven't gotten any negative reviews at all. And it has been viewed over 1 million times. And then people that are leaving comments, they are still leaving comments on that. And
I believe that. It was amazing. I've never seen anything like that ever.
Wow.
And it's like you're in your own lane by yourself. It's so wonderful. It really is.
I celebrate being Black. I love it. Like, I love it here.
Yes.
I do. Nobody can duplicate us as much as
no. That's right. Original.
And so when people see, I want them to see the urban, beautiful Black woman. And I do style for men. I have a show coming up in November that I'm gonna do the guys this time.
Oh my goodness. You are rocking it. You are rocking it. Did you feel like people love you, what you do? Or have you had any decline from people as far as them following you or dropping off during your journey?
No, what I have chosen to do is self-preservation. So I'll give you a little story about that. Recently I was helping a fellow crocheter who founded Dope People Crochet. She has this huge group. It's a wonderful group. And we were moderating over 300,000 crochet artists and others. And what I found is that, and I always thought the crochet world is just supposed to be, kumbaya, we're crocheting, we're using yarn, and I find I'm like a Black hippie. Okay. So I'm good. House music, my stones, my bracelets.
Yeah.
Right. I've never seen so many people just go at it about what? It's like you all are making the same thing. Crochet has not been copyrighted. And it has not been where you can't make the same thing somebody else is making. And the battle was there. So I haven't had anybody say anything negative about my work.
Mm-hmm.
Also, don't pay attention to negativity.
That's good. And I say that all the time, like creators, artists shouldn't.
Cause it's not, it's not for everybody.
Right,
You know?
right.
And I say that to people all the time. What I make may not be for you, but it might,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but just because you don't like it doesn't mean that I don't love it. So it's just the way, that's just my thought process. But it
Yeah,
took some time to get here though.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It does. Is kindness to you often mistaken for weakness?
It used to be.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be. And I say that because prior to my mental health break, I was one of those people pleasers. And you know, when you're a people pleaser and you're trying to be kind to people, people utilize that and they'll manipulate you and take it for weakness.
Yes.
And I'm not that person anymore. Like, no.
I've grown. No.
And through a great therapist.
Yes, yes. I love it. I love it.
Mhm.
What got you to that point to where you were like, I'm done with that. I'm not going to deal with that anymore. What was the turning point for you?
Wow. So that's pretty deep. That's a deep thing. And it happened over years, like years of time. When I was in my 20s, I was like, I didn't know I was depressed, but I was. And I wasn't happy with my life, not being who I truly was inside. I was faking because you got to fake it till you make it and make my parents and my family happy. And I was miserable. And so when I made some life decisions for me, that's when I started coming out in the onion layers. You know how you peel back that those layers of onion and started leaving, and I started living for me. And so I come from a family that is very, very conservative, very, very religious. Um, Not me, you know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to somebody that I loved but wasn't in love with. And then I was with the white picket fence and all of that stuff. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this. And
Mm-hmm.
so that was that time. Then, um, and so like during the pandemic, my dad got really sick, but I didn't really know my father as an adult. Um, it was like the last time I had seen him, I was maybe in my 20s. And
Mm.
he called back and forth sometime, but he got sick and I had to take care of him. But then I realized how abusive he was.
What?
But God saved me from all of that. And I say that. And the reason why I say that is because I was able to get away from my family for some time. And I got to experience the world, like kindness, family, loving people, experiencing things, travel, all of the things that my core family wouldn't do.
Mm.
So when he came to my doorstep, then I had to take care of him. And that's when those boundaries went on. Ain't nobody else who to give you but me. So what to do me with disrespect. That's what we not gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Mm-hmm.
I took care of him until the day he left this earth. I don't have any regret.
No regrets. I was going to say, did you have closure from that?
I did. And I had to have closure with my mother too. So the death of my father was a major thing that hit our family. And when I say our family, it's like my mom and my brother and I. And so I come from like some a pretty harsh childhood. But after dealing with my father for so long, I realized that my mother didn't have the strength to fight him or deal with him. And so the day that the day before he passed away, because he had to determine his date that he was going to leave this earth. I called my mother and I forgave her for all that she had did to me. And my mother cried like a deep cry because that's what she was waiting for me to do, is to forgive her. And I did. I haven't forgotten, but I forgive her, because she didn't have the strength that God gave me. And now I understand why, people say, oh, you're so strong. And my father was pissed that I was so strong because he couldn't manipulate me. And my mother, she looks up to me because of my strength, you know? And so, but that was because I was able to leave and live life and learn and then come back with a better mindset.
Wow. I think that probably could relate to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Something
It's
like that.
Gen X. Gen X,
Mhm.
we've been through it.
Yes, yes.
My therapist actually is encouraging me to write a book about it.
You should. And that's a form of therapy as well. So, yeah, I say go for it.
I found a guy that could ghostwrite it for me because it's like I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah. You'll find your way, though. You will. And when it's time, it's time. And when it's time, that person will be there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe that. Let me ask you this. Did caring for others become your identity?
For a minute, it did. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So I used to always say, God, why did you nominate me to be the caregiver? And it's been rough. Like my wife and I have a wife now, and I'm
Mhm.
happy. 20 years. Whoop, whoop.
All right. That's good. Congratulations to 20 years.
I love her. She's so patient and good with me and supportive. It's amazing. Everybody's like, "It's a favorite couple," and I'm like, "Why?" It's because it's just us. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, so like we started off with her mom came to live with us. Her mother stayed with us for about, I'd say, a good 10 years. She was older. Then after that, here one of my girlfriends that lived here in Maryland had no family, and she ended up with multiple myeloma. So I don't know if you ever experienced that, but it is not easy. So she had no one. And one day, I realized that I hadn't talked to her. And I'm like, well, okay, that's odd, because she always called at a certain time of the week. So I started calling our friends to see if anybody talked to her, and they didn't. So my wife and I, we kind of knew where she lived, but didn't. So we kind of retraced our steps whenever like we had dropped her off after an event. So we found her place, and then we went, and I'm knocking on the door. She was in there dying.
Oh my goodness.
She was in there dying. And so from that day on, we were her caregivers, and even to the point where when we moved across town, we moved her across town too, so we could get to her easier.
Right.
And we were with her until the day she passed.
Mm.
And then my father came. And so he wouldn't let anybody else help him. It was just me. And I basically had to take some leave from work. His health condition was something I wouldn't wish on anyone. Like it was horrible.
Yeah.
Then he passed, and then my mother-in-law, who was the healthiest one out of all of them, at 97, she got cancer, and there was nothing they could do for her. And so she passed. And now I care for my mom.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it is part of your identity then, huh?
I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't want it. I don't want that.
I know. I know. Just one of them things. No.
Yep. So my therapist will go back to her. She said,
Yeah.
Jackie, you don't get to take care of anybody else except for you and Ingrid. That's it.
I know that's right. Jackie, what does crochet give you that people can't? What is it about that?
It gives me peace. Like I look forward to it. Like I look forward to, and I have to reward myself with crochet because I will do it all day long because I'm creating something and I can see something from beginning to end. So I have to really put myself on. Jackie, you got to do your laundry. You got to go to the grocery.
Yes.
And your reward as this time is to crochet. So it gives me peace. I'm so stemmy. I like the feel of things. And so I like the way it feels in my hands. I love to see it walk down a runway. When I have runway shows, right? I'm standing off to the side watching it come to life. And I start to cry. I'm like jumping. I'm like,
Yes, that's just so
well, Holy
nice.
Ghost feeling in me.
Ooh, that is so awesome, though. But you remember your first show? You remember your first
I do.
runway?
My first show was in 2018. Okay. So I'm also a model. And so there's a lot of my friends that, they come on and you need to be in the show. You need to do this. You need to, I gave up modeling. So one of the girls that I modeled with, it was her birthday. She wanted to have a fashion show for her birthday. This is when I first started crochet. So she called me. She was like, okay, you're one of my designers. And I was like, no.
Said
So
no.
yes. She said, you have enough time to get it together. And so I put together a show. It was probably 5 people. I don't even know if I still have any of these pieces. And I put it together, very avant-garde, very Jackie. And everybody loved it. And I was like,
So cool. That whole feeling, it's just like a musician or an actor that hits the stage, and then they get all that applause and that feeling, that whole energy. It's just like nothing like it, is there?
no, it's not. And it's and I'm a stylist. I went to FIT, Fashion Institute of Technology in New York, but I did an online course for styling and I'm certified. And I think that is part of the whole aesthetic, is putting people together, not just putting a garment on them and then sending them down the runway. I even go down to the shoes. I will ask my models, what size shoe do you wear? Because I know what I want to see go down that runway.
That helps too. Mm-hmm. So you're producing and directing and everything.
Mm. It's funny that you say direct because when I get them dressed, I want them to understand what I want to go down that runway. Yes. And so this last show, I said, all right, ladies, we are walking down the street of New York and Brooklyn, baby. You got somewhere to be. You don't really need anybody to talk to you right now because you got to be on time because you're going to your model call. I said, so make sure you stay focused. Give them that black girl flavor. Yes. When I tell you them girls did it.
They did that. I'm going to tell you right now. Yes. I felt like I was right there for real. Like they was really, that was good. And I liked how you came out at the, you do that often with your work? You you do the modeling too at the end?
Not really.
No, that was good though.
So Marjorie, what's her name? Is her name Marjorie Taylor? Well, she's another designer. I gotta get her name. She got on me so bad at one show because I had a show and I sent a couple pieces out, but I didn't wear anything that I made. And I had on this balloon denim dress, one of my favorite pieces, and I had my hat on cocked to the side. And I came back. She said, you look good, but you need to wear your clothing. You need to wear what you make. She paid me to rest. So I said, okay.
That was a brilliant idea.
Stuck in my head. So I
Mm-hmm.
made that jacket for me to wear, and everybody wants to buy it.
I bet that
Mhm.
thing was off the hook.
Thank
I'm gonna
you.
tell you right now.
Thank you.
And people haven't seen it, they need to.
I don't sell them until after things walk twice. So this one's getting ready to walk again. And I
Nice.
think this one is too.
Yes, yes. Let's go back to let's talk about healing.
Okay.
Um, what do people misunderstand you think about healing?
Hmm. I look at it like this. When we talk about healing, people are scared to do the work. They're scared. They're afraid. And I say that because I'll give you another little plug. I'm a life coach. And so when I'm life coaching like friends or the seniors that I work with, you can see that people are so broken and torn up inside. And then when you say, when you offer therapy, because you can't walk through this by yourself. And especially it depends on what you're suffering from. What was that trauma in your life? You know? And then people think that they can just heal themselves. No, no, you really can't. And the reason why I say you can't, the body as a whole is made to heal itself. But the mind is a different story, because sometimes when people call themselves healing themselves and they are working on things internally, what I've learned is that, okay, you think that you've worked through it, but now your body is in pain. Now you have pain in your back, your kidneys are bad, your heart is going out. All of these different things happen to your inside because all of those things that you thought you healed from, you haven't. You haven't talked it out. You
Yeah.
haven't let go. You haven't. And what I mean by let it go is let it come out of your mouth and be heard, right?
Hmm.
And a lot of people don't want to live the trauma again that they may have suffered from,
Yeah.
or they don't want to hear the reality of the part they played in it.
Girl, that's deep. I ain't even think of it that way. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And then, like, some people also go and look for healing from the wrong
The
places.
wrong places.
I look at
Mm.
some of these internet psychologists that it's like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? But it's like healing comes from within, but it also is something that people need to be assisted with. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I look
Absolutely.
at I look at the population of people that I serve, right? Because I do serve them. They're my seniors. And you ever seen that little lady that looks like she's all with it, but when you go out to her car, it's full?
Yeah.
Person that didn't heal. That's a person that did not take the time to identify the issue, work on themselves, and then start their healing process.
Mm.
Or you look at the little man and when he walks by you, you can smell the alcohol first thing in the morning.
He
Same thing.
used a substance to try to get over his pain.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Has do you feel like healing changed you or revealed you?
Both.
Mm-hmm.
I think both. My healing journey, it revealed all of the negative things that I would do thinking they were positive, which allow people to manipulate me and make me feel a certain type of way. You know, that's where the reveal was. You think you're strong, but actually, you left yourself wide open for people just to do whatever. And one thing that I learned in therapy is stop serving people who don't serve you. That's a strong
Amen.
That's a strong statement right there. And then
This
it made me
is.
think, wow, that's exactly what I do. I serve people who don't serve me. Like they don't reciprocate what I'm giving to them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so the other part of that, um, healing made me the person that I am today. And I know how to say this. It's a real short sentence. No.
Right. Right.
I know
And
how to,
I don't think no's ever hurt anybody. I mean, you know, they didn't die from it.
right.
Yeah. It's
And
okay.
so, but it's powerful to say that word. And it's also very powerful to put yourself first, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by I always ask the question, is it okay to be selfish? And people are like, no, you're not supposed to be selfish. Sometimes you have to be.
Yeah.
And that's called self-preservation. Because if
Mm.
you're not, others can take you down. They will, though it's like parasites, they will suck the life out of you. And you don't even know that they did it until you are just done.
Then it's too late. It's like
And then it's too late. Yeah. And
uh,
that's when you really got to get the work in. But me healing and being who I am right now, people feel safe talking to me about whatever. And like I mean it. Like I can meet somebody, like recently I met someone and she was interested in some of my pieces. We ended up talking for like 2.5 hours
wow.
about life. And I was okay
Mm-hmm.
with that. I went recently onto a store and I went to go get like a comforter for my bed. And I saw somebody in the aisle and we were talking. And the next thing you know, we're there for an hour and a half and she's talking to me about the things that was going wrong in her life. So, and I think God blessed me with that. A listening
Yeah.
ear, a good mind, and then also the ability to give people some decent advice. Now, I'm not giving people advice like I'm a therapist because I'm not.
Right.
I will give them a therapist's phone number in a heartbeat.
I got some cards. No, look. Here you go.
I got a list of therapists
There
that I
you
can
go.
show you with that are great. And I will pick up
Yes.
the phone. Let me send you this number. Mhm.
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder if we go through things just so we can help other people. You know what I mean?
If when we go through things, if we work on it, some people go through things and then they just sit in it for the rest of
Yeah.
their lives.
Mm.
And then everybody around them have to suffer.
Yeah. That's messed up too when it be like that.
Hmm.
If crochet disappeared tomorrow, who is Jackie?
I won't be a retired crochet artist. You see what I got, Becky, right?
She ain't playing.
Oh my gosh. It's just a small, I'm telling you, when you see it.
Oh my gosh.
But I will, and let me tell you something, I'm a fiber artist. So I will take some fabric, shred that bad boy up,
There you go. Look,
create new business.
that's right. That's right. That's a true creator, an artist for you right there. I'm telling you. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Absolutely. Because I even crochet with raffia, like with straw, all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
It ain't
yeah.
going anywhere.
Yeah, yeah,
We
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
go
yeah.
outside in there. I got a forest behind me. I'll just, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. I love it. What have you forgiven Jackie for?
Mm, that's a good question. And it's a question that I can honestly answer. I have forgiven myself for allowing people to treat me wrongly.
Mm, that's deep.
I have forgiven myself for running after a dollar and being miserable. I have forgiven myself for allowing people into my life after I had already put them out. Hmm.
That's happened time and time again.
Hmm. When I say I really every year around my birthday, I do a reflection of what has happened and what that year looks like. I can honestly say I'll be 56 years old on Wednesday. And I can honestly say that this past year, I was okay.
Wow.
And it took this long to get here.
Wow. How did you get there?
Through therapy,
Yeah.
no, to doing what Jackie wants to do, how Jackie wants to do it, loving up on the people around me. And I also had to make my circle just a little bit smaller.
And sometimes you do have to do that.
And I'm not
You know,
saying that, those people that I'm not close with, like I used to be, that I don't care for them, but I'm not going to allow the hurt and pain. I'm a Cancer. I'm going to give you like one chance, two chance. I might even give you four. After that, I just make my little exit. I'm good. But I'm not
yeah.
mad at you, but I'm not going to allow you to treat me any type of way anymore. And
Stop.
people, you have to have people in your life. If not, then you'll just be a hermit and you'll just start hoarding. And I usually say to my friends, you're gonna start collecting cans for no reason.
Girl, be one of them hoarders. You know, yeah, you, I wouldn't say you need people, but you should have, because especially if you're an extrovert, you're just going to make things worse.
I'm
You
actually an
know,
introverted extrovert.
I mean, I'm sorry, introvert is what I meant to say. I say extrovert.
Yeah,
Introvert is what I meant to say. Yes.
I'm
I
an
mean, it will make matters worse.
right. Then the reason why I say I'm an introverted extrovert, because I have to be an extrovert at work. And I am, because, I'm the director. I have over 2,000 members. They come and go and they need Jackie's time and we do shows, all kinds of stuff. And I model and I do this. And then once I'm hit that line, I'm in my house. Leave me alone. Text me.
Yes. Yes. I know that's right. You need that though. You need that Jackie time for real. Because people, I mean, I hate to say it, sometimes people can drain the heck out of you.
Sometime.
What's the biggest lie people believe that's about strong women, about a strong woman?
That we're strong and we're not vulnerable and we don't have a weak point. And that's what happened to me when I had my mental break, because I was the strong one. And so when I was breaking, people were looking at me like, well, what's wrong with you? You know what I mean? Like my wife didn't even get it. She was like, she thought it was about her. And I'm like, not everything is about you. This is about me. This is where I'm feeling. My mom felt that way. My wife felt that way. Everybody, my kids looking at me like, what's wrong with you? Because the strong woman always has the answer. They always have a plan. They organize everything. They get everybody moving. They keep everybody cheered up. You uplift everybody. But then when it's time for you when you're tired or when you're breaking or all of these things are happening, it's like you got all of these balls up in the air, juggling, 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 and then they all fall down. They're looking at you like, that's not supposed to happen to you. What's wrong with you? Get yourself together. We, as strong women, are vulnerable. We feel pain. We are hurt. Sometimes we are so tired. I have the biggest case of imposter syndrome that I think is known to man, because I don't even think I'm supposed to be in this space.
What? Why do you say that?
Sometimes things can be like so good, and you're like, this is not supposed to happen to me. This is not where I saw my life going. And when I posted that video on TikTok, I just, let me tell you, I was on my way to sleep. My girlfriend was at the show. That's who took that. She's another model.
Yes.
Came over there. She got the perfect seat because she had gotten the door just before my models walk. Hit record. So I'm going to sleep because she sent it to me, and I posted it on TikTok. And I woke up the next morning like, what in the world? It made me nervous and anxious. And I'm like, why are these people liking this like this? And is this true? Then the next weekend, I went to the BaldyCon pop-up in Baltimore. You know, gotta rock the Baldies, right?
Yes.
So when I went there, I went with a girlfriend, and she and I were walking through, and I'm watching all these women just looking at me. So I said to her, I was like, why are they looking at me like that? You know? She said, well, look at you. You the whole fashion show. Be quiet. So, so we walking through. So I find a seat in the far corner. And I'm watching them watch me. They don't want to watch me, but they looking at me, but they're not.
Yeah.
I got up to get something to drink. And a lady came to me and she said, I saw your fashion show. I loved it. And then another lady came and somebody else came. And I'm like, oh no.
Wow.
Yes.
Surprise.
Right. And I'm like, this is mad crazy.
Did it go viral? That's what I wanted to ask.
Yes, it did.
I thought it might have.
All platforms.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
It went viral on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook.
Wow.
And it's still going.
It is.
Yes.
Wow.
It's still going. I check it and I'm like, it's a lot. And now
that's a lot.
I have another fashion show coming up, and now I feel like the pressure is on me to match what I just did. So
yeah.
It's like, okay, how's that going to happen? It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Because I'm a stylist.
There you go. There you go. And that's like a true artist too, because you're always trying to top what you did before, you know.
Yeah.
And you will. Yeah.
It's just like, I have the biggest case of it. And I try not to focus on it. Yeah. I try to say, I say, Jackie, you're an artist. Just do what you do. Get over it. Do what you do. If they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't.
There you have it. I like that attitude. Okay. What do you feel like? What question you think I should have asked?
I think you did an amazing job. This is the best podcast I've ever been on. The questions are great. And I feel comfortable talking to you.
Thank you, my dear.
So the next show, I could give you that information.
Please do. Before we unplug, what's the question you're asking yourself these days?
What's next? And I say that because I will put my foot and hand in anything to try it. So, and people, if I wrote my resume or curriculum vitae of all the things that I have accomplished, right? I never disclose what all the things that I have accomplished because I feel like, I was like, does that make me a narcissist? My therapist
no.
Was like, no. No. She said it just like that. No. I said, no. She said, no. She said, because you got proof. You've done these things.
Absolutely.
And she said, and it's like, I mean, if people, you can share it if you want to, you know, if you don't want to, you don't. And like when my father passed away, I said, I need to do something. And I said, well, maybe I'll go get a degree, a master's degree in such and such. She looked me in the camera like this. So I said, why are you looking at me like that? She said, what you gonna do with it? You plan on moving your job? I said, no. She said, so why are you doing that?
Oh my goodness. So my goodness.
Fashion design and, you know, technology and sewing school. So now I love this space that I'm in. But the what next is I'm going to be retiring in a little bit. Do I open a boutique? Do I continue to do fashion shows because I love it? My cousin has given me the best advice. She was like, I don't want you to have a brick and mortar. She said, don't do that. She said, you show, you set up somewhere and you sell that and you start all over again.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
That's a good idea.
That is a good idea. I like that. Well, you got some decisions to make, don't you?
I do.
Coming up.
My basement is full.
Ooh, wow. Now, where can people find you and follow your work?
On Instagram, So my Instagram is Nubia Knots Crochet, all one word. And knots is spelled with a Knots. So Nubia Knots Crochet. And Facebook, I'm on it sometimes, but everything goes on Instagram and TikTok.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on to Artistry Unplugged, and we wish you the best, the best, the best, the best.
Thank you.
I love your line. It is wonderful. I love what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of us.
Thank you so much. And I'm going to tell you right now, once I share this, everybody going to be on your page.
That's right. Listen, bring them on.
Let me tell you. I didn't share. So I took a picture of me getting ready for your show. So I'm going to post it. Getting ready for that podcast. Y'all better tune in.
That's right, y'all. It's a good one. It's a good one. It's a deep one.
Are you going to put this on Instagram too? Or is it just going to be on TikTok?
It will be on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and the main channel is YouTube.
I got you. Okay, so send me all of the links. You're going to see, they're going to tune in, okay?
Yes, for real. For real. Well, sometimes the things we create aren't just art. They're how we put ourselves back together. I'm Denise Michelle. This is Artistry Unplugged, where artists reveal their true colors. Until next time. Wonderful. This was so good.
This was a good one. Thank you.